Dan, I gotta tell ya, I am under stress.
Uh-oh. Oh, no.
I am under stress. So this is what stress feels like. Huh. You can keep it.
What is making you stressed out? What is the source of your dilemmas here?
I don't know. Well, I know what it is. I just don't want to admit it, but it's not firewood. Once I became a firewood professional, I haven't had a stressful day ever. I think baking and selling firewood is a blast.
I was going to
Time
say, isn't
stands time stands still.
isn't that a stress reliever?
It is.
Yeah.
I love it. The cause of my stress is the upcoming open house. It is the key source of my angst for the last month and a half when I've started feeling the crunch.
Oh, no. Yeah, the pressure's building. Expectations are rising. Yes,
It
I
is
can.
not just the open house, but it is the work that I have to do to close down one wood yard and then move everything to the new one. I have just been overrun with extra work at my old place because I have to get all these logs processed in the firewood. I don't want to have to pay the log hauler to take them back to the other place.
Right.
That's just wasteful of money. My hope is to get all of these logs processed here and then just get them stacked here and they can just sit here. And then all of the other logs that I have then since had delivered at my new place, I can take my processor, my Yappa 405, my Easton made Axis, my super splitter, and just take everything to the new yard and just hit the ground running.
Yeah, get at her. So it sounds like having these two wood yards, it's like it's dividing you. You have to be in two places, and there's only one of you. So it's simple. Just get another one of you.
I the owner of the property that I'm moving into, he's come through huge. He has saved me. He went above and beyond. We talked about the way we saw the yard and the workflow and how to like get everything put into position.
Yep.
And he just did it. And I offered him money and he turned me down.
Wow.
And he's excited that I'm moving in. He just general comments, I just hope you stay here forever kind of a thing. And I'm thinking, I hope I can stay here forever too. and but it's everything at my other place. Oh my gosh, it's just wearing me down and it's just nonstop. I I have that high school kid that helps, but this is the busy time of year for him. He has baseball, he's got piano lessons, he's taken piloting lessons, he's in a bunch of
Wow.
organizations. It's just hard to get him, to help me get my get my trailers loaded, unloaded, stacked, whatever. He does a lot of that work in the summertime. He's a good worker, but I've been doing it all myself. Oh my gosh.
Well, back to the whole thing with the woodyard, though. The new woodyard. It kind of sounds like there's a little excitement there as well, but I guess that excitement is also making you feel like I said. Maybe you have to. I don't know. I don't know how. I would see that as excitement, but also I could see where your anxiety, your stress, it could start wearing on you. But
I feel pressure, Dan, because there's a number of people coming long distance. And,
oh,
of course, I worry about the weather, which is out of my control, but it's still something to worry about. I want to just have a nice, friendly, inviting event, and I just don't want to drop the ball. That's all.
right. Yeah, I've always found that the best way to avoid that is to not be in that position. Anytime you're planning an event like this, or you have certain things that you want to see happen, yeah, it can it gets to be a lot going
And
on.
you've come to think of it, you have been in this position because with the Midwest firewood frenzy,
Yes, twice.
that's a ah.
After the first time I said I'll never do it again, and then I did it again.
And then you did it again.
Yeah.
I have here is where I'm stuck right now. And these are all these blind spots. You just don't think of these things. Where's people going to go to the bathrooms? You know,
Yep.
I gotta have porta johns, and so I've never rented one before. I don't know, and I started calling around. I'm in sticker shock. I can't get over how expensive these things are. Are you serious?
Yep.
They're as expensive, serious as my rent
Yeah.
for these things.
And then you have to make sure that you don't just get a regular porta john. You have to have the hand sanitizing or the washing station now with the people wanting to be
What the
clean. And
heck?
yeah, it adds up. There's all kinds of stuff like that.
I have never ever called about renting a porta john. And I think of all of the sporting events I've been to. My daughter ran cross country, and they would have 30 of these porta johns all in a row. And wow, now and she said, "So this is the price." And I says, "Good heavens! How about if I just get one?" She goes, "No, that is the price for just one." I said, "Are you serious?" Gosh. I told her I was nice about it. I was laughing. I was like, I am literally in sticker shock. I had no idea that these things are that expensive.
Yep.
I said, probably we shouldn't then go on and talk about renting one for the rest of the year. She goes, well, that would be easy. She said, it's the same price every month. I said, I said, oh my, I was just floored. Are you serious? That's how much they cost.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And with you being so close, you can probably drive home when you need to go to the bathroom.
That's one of the challenge with firewood because you drink a lot of water and you're always going to the bathroom.
Yes.
I gotta
Yep.
come up with a plan here. Call that a blind spot. Yeah, I thank you, YouTube.
Yeah. Well,
I would never blame YouTube though because that's so. I sometimes wonder though, Dan, because I know that my firewood business would probably be, I don't know. I think I would eventually be where I am right now. I think YouTube accelerated it because of some relationships that I've developed with Metsa Machines and Easton Made, and I but I wouldn't have the international notoriety that I have
right.
because of YouTube. And when I've heard, that there are people coming from Canada, um, from states that are pretty far away, people asking about what airport to fly into. Oh gosh, if they knew about the high levels of guilt that I experience with this kind of stuff. Last summer, if you recall, I had that luncheon. I just had a spontaneous meet and greet I called out. And there were people that came from Virginia. Our good friends Robin and Larry
Yes.
came from Virginia. One couple came from Michigan, 4 hours away. Oh,
Yeah. It's
and
but
that was
that's
just for a 2 hour lunch. Now people are getting hotels.
oh, I know. And so it is kind of crazy to think. So you without YouTube, this open house probably wouldn't be what it really is. It would just be a matter of moving your equipment over there and get ready to go.
I think
Right?
so. There could have been. I don't think it. I don't know if I would be. Boy, this is a tough one. I think I would be in the same position as a sales driven organization. Now, having all of the buzzes and whistles, all the machines that generate interest, I don't know. If I would have been a member of the Chamber of Commerce, I have I'm a client of the Small Business Development Center in Ohio, and they have been awesome with me. And really, if there's anyone out there that's looking at starting a business, or if you have a small business, your state has one of these small business development centers, and it's a free service to people of that state. seek them out because they have been a huge help for me. I would think that they would probably still help me have an open house, but it would have been like locally advertised, you know?
Right. Or like
Um,
clients of yours, like people that you service, restaurant
yes,
owners, business
yes.
owners coming together. Not so much on the side of like meeting and greeting you and being a fan of yours, more or less just a business associate.
Or a certain retired professional wrestler from Wisconsin wouldn't be
Yes.
coming.
Yeah, no kidding. I won't even know where the heck Niles, Ohio is.
Cortland, Ohio.
Or
That's where
Cortland, whatever it is.
yeah, Niles is where your hotel is.
That's right. That's where I'm staying.
All of which are, of course, part of the Ohio's Mahoning Valley,
Right. Yes.
where all your steel in the United States was once made a long time ago. Yeah. Yeah, but that's what YouTube's done, man. And I still think back. I just filmed a segment for an upcoming video. I'm trying to showcase some businesses that I have relationships with in my day to day. I'm just trying to get as many people in my area involved and using my YouTube platform to do that. I'll do it. There's really I get paid for YouTube, but not in this capacity. This is just something I'm just trying to do to get people involved. And I think too, maybe that's what is also causing me stress. And in a way, I shouldn't be complaining about that because I'm doing this to myself, and I'm just trying to do that little extra mile. Getting these other people involved, getting some exposure to things that they have going on. I had a recent video of my good friend Sam, who owns the local saw shop in town, Cortland Mower, and I just thought that came off great. And uh, he's not like an official sponsor of the channel, but it was just a good opportunity to partner. And
Right.
he's donated a couple battery powered DeWalt items to run at the show, and they'll be there for people to check out. But that's just, I mean, getting back to YouTube, that's just it's just this opportunity, Dan. It's just been dumped in my lap. I want to make the best of it.
Right. And that's the one thing that the key word there is opportunity. And I think businesses, people who have, who run companies, and like you were talking about Sam, and I know there's a couple other local businesses you've worked with, bringing attention to them through your YouTube channel and through your platform. I think nowadays, if you don't recognize and appreciate that type of attention that you can get from something like YouTube, you're really missing out. And I think that's the key word is opportunity. And, if you as a content creator having a channel don't look for opportunities like that to just maximize everything you can out of YouTube, you're also, I think, kind of doing yourself a disservice. I mean, you have to go
I
out there and
agree.
hustle.
I agree. I know of a YouTube channel. I'm not going to name names, but I know that he, in loose company, and as he goes about his day, he refers to himself not as a YouTube influencer. He refers to himself as a internet marketer,
Oh,
which I found interesting because that's kind of what it is. So some people do take that route. There is still an element of my channel that is largely day-to-day firewood delivery service, making wood, stacking wood, delivering wood, selling wood. I will occasionally have a product that I will show, but not a lot. But that is the way a lot of people pivot with their YouTube channel. They may have gotten big by building that relationship, showing that part of their life, but then they get bit by that bug where
yes. Yep.
where
They
they
get
get the
tempted.
solicitations and they go with it. I'm not passing judgment.
No.
I've said this before. I have my standards, but if Maserati were to ever offer up one of their brand new firewood delivery vehicles, I would violate all of them to get that free Maserati.
There you go. That's right. That's what it's all about. I mean, you can take the approach of you're only going to showcase products or do affiliate deals with things that are relevant to your channel. But also, I think it's a good opportunity, once again, if you have a YouTube channel, to start doing some smaller stuff like showcase a product, do one thing just to get the feel of it, whether or not you like it or not. Because if you do get contacted by a big sponsor and you have no idea how to do, affiliate marketing or sales in a video or dedicated videos, I mean, you're going to miss out.
I totally agree. I still think too that I bet you it's difficult for a company that to find an influencer, a YouTube channel that they're comfortable with, because they may have gained their popularity just because of their personality, which may have nothing to do with professional business practices. Because I remember I was watching Shark Tank, and it was Mark Cuban was talking with someone, and they were saying that they did not have a professional business background. They didn't go to college for a business degree. Mark Cuban said that he disagrees. He thinks that you need a business education because he says there's this language of business. And some people would look on the outside, think it's snobbish the way that people talk, but there is that business language. And when you deal with a corporation that has a marketing department and they're looking for an influencer, it does help that you have experience in talking with marketers, professional marketers. Am I making sense?
Yes, yes, totally. Yeah, you need to have that knowledge and insight. And I mean, back to the point about companies looking. I don't know if companies need. I think it's kind of like the same with. I get emails all the time from companies reaching out to me, so I can't imagine how many emails companies get from influencers reaching out to them. I think
Yeah,
it's just probably, their inbox is full, and they have to really do a lot of screening and vetting and making sure it's a right fit for their company.
I agree. Dan, if I could give some unsolicited advice, and if you disagree with me, chime in. But I think if you are thinking of starting a YouTube channel, I think there is that element where you just got to get your hands dirty, you got to pay your dues, you got to get your subscriber count up. But I do think that when you eventually, because you should have your email address on your channel, you will get found if someone likes you. If you get that solicitation for an item that is closely related to the theme of your videos, I think you do it.
Yep.
I think you do it. You save all of your email correspondence, and if your video was a success, what the marketer would call a campaign, if the campaign was a success, study it and just remember everything that you've done with that conversation, and you've just become better at what you're doing. If you do want to start the influencing side of YouTube, I think that's how you do it. You got to get your hands dirty. You got to get out there and fail and have emails that just go into cyberspace and they never get replied to, probably because you didn't address the situation in the right way, or they didn't feel comfortable with you. Have that level of professionalism and go for it. Does that make
Yep.
am I on base here?
Yes. Go for it. Fail, fail, fail again, and then fail some more, and just keep
Yeah.
at it. And with every video you put together or create, try to find one thing you can do better on in your next video. And
I
just,
think all of these YouTube channels that show off merchandise products, they all started where they were offered the item for free, and you're jumping up and down for joy, when that
oh,
thing
yes. Yep.
comes in from the UPS truck. You're thinking, oh my gosh, I've hit the major league. But then the next hurdle would be just getting the item for free isn't good enough. You need to be compensated for your time.
Yep.
So you would get the item for free and my hourly rate or my per video rate is $2,000.
Holy moly's.
Yeah. But then once you can clear that hurdle, that's when the bigger stuff starts coming in. The expensive items, because you got to think it from the eyes of the manufacturer about how vulnerable they're making themselves by mailing something out to just some stranger that they have no idea who they are, that lives
Right.
in some strange town in Wisconsin, and they're going to send them the product that's their whole business existence lives on, and they're going to trust you to review it. And
Yes.
a
And
lot of
have
these companies where they demand that you stick to their talking points, there's a lot of them that don't,
no.
and they're just throwing it out there. That's where I give these guys a lot of credit.
Yeah, and they send you the product and all they have for an agreement is an email. Like you could get the product and not even do the video and they would have no way of knowing probably or even find, it's they are just so interested in getting that their product out there and they're part of their piece of the attention grab. Like they want, whatever eyeballs you get on your video, they want them to see their product and that's it. That's all they are worried about.
I had that power station, and it was a Chinese company, and they contacted me. They offered me the item. They never once gave me any demands. They just asked if I could do at least I can't remember, like 5 minutes video of it, which mine was going to be, the usual length of 20-ish kind of minutes. They never asked for anything. They sent me the item. I showed it, and they sent me an email. I sent them a link when I put it up, and the next day they sent me an email thanking me for it, and they considered it a success, and that was it.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah,
Because
it
I've
can be
heard of
easy.
other businesses that have called up the influencer and said, "Take it down."
Oh yeah, you can, and that's where you have to, you have to really do your diligence as a creator. You have to say, hey, what do I need to do? Make sure you got everything in writing that what you need to do and what you need to say, and because yeah, you could do a video and all of a sudden the company says, nope, we don't like that, take it down.
Yeah,
Now you have to start over.
I've known of where that's happened. But so if I'm going to give advice to anyone out there that's thinking of YouTube, or if you're just interested in how this thing works, I I think that you just got to start putting your videos out. The rule of thumb has always been stick to your, I hate this word, niche. Oh, I hate that word. Stick to your niche. I always thought it was
Niche.
niche.
Yeah, your
Yeah,
niche.
I found my niche, and now it's a niche, and I don't whatever. Stick to it and drill down into it. The rule of thumb has always been if you try to be too general, you'll lose everyone. And it sounds counterintuitive, but when you think of the world, it's kind of a big place and there's a lot of people in there, and you might think that you are the only person in the world that does underwater Jenga. There's probably every state has 1,000, and they're going to find you on YouTube eventually. So you stick to your niche, keep your videos going. I think the other thing too, you want to have a personality, but I think for influencing, if you are crass or inappropriate or cussing, I think a lot of these companies avoid channels like that.
Yeah, I mean, just in general, I think that's kind of a. I mean, if you go down that path with your channel, then you are kind of putting yourself, I guess, out of that potential for like sponsorships and even viewership. I mean, if you think about it, like how many people you're going to find your audience, but I don't know if you're going to grow that audience. If you're divisive and you don't, if your message isn't of bringing people together and you're like just spewing, like you said, curse words and politics or something that,
Yeah.
I mean,
If that's what you want to do, go for it though. If
right.
you don't care, then go for it. The way I see things are, especially here in the United States with corporate America, that's the professional work environment. You're expected to dress professional. You're expected to behave and treat everyone with respect and dignity. And the days of the dirty jokes and the offhand comments are over with in corporate America. So now you're going to have a marketing team that is marketing I don't know, just say an axe. Okay. And they are going to find an influencer who's going to put it on YouTube. And then the marketing team is going to have a meeting and they're going to all watch that together. And the influencer is MFing and cussing and behaving in a unprofessional capacity. That's
Yeah.
that's where in corporate world people, and there is a lot of hypocrisy there because people are very professional in the office, but man, you get them out at the bar afterwards and then it comes out of them. But it's just that game that you have to play in the corporate world,
Yeah. Yeah, so it can be, I mean, the one thing though, I think even just taking a step back, if I'm going to give a little advice on starting a YouTube channel, start your channel with zero of these expectations, kind of what we're talking about. Just don't think this is the reason to start a YouTube channel. Because if it is, you're going to find out in a hurry. It's way more work than you think. And it's probably not going to deliver those results that you're expecting right away. And yeah, so it can be tough. It can be real, I guess, disheartening and discouraging. I've heard from a lot of people that, oh, I only got 100 views. I only got 200 views. And I always say to them, okay, imagine you opened the door to your house and 200 people came in. That's a lot of people. Like in this day and age, that's building something. Just don't focus on the negative. Just go on to your next video. Do the next one.
I still remember one of my favorite videos is when I hit 100 subscribers. I did a video about hitting 100 subscribers. I was so thrilled.
Yeah.
And I've never forgotten that. People ask me, how can I make my channel better? And I always say, and I'm serious, don't ask me, because my channel's an accident. It was never intended to exist. I had no plan. I had no expectations. It just happened. And here I am. I think I still break the majority of the rules for YouTube. I do not invest heavily in my thumbnails. I think I've gotten pretty good with the titles. I kind of have fun with titles. My videography is low tech. I don't use a fancy camera. I just use my cell phone. I don't have a microphone, and it's good enough for me. And I know of other big channels that are enormous that are like me. Still, they don't have
Yep.
a lot of money in their technology.
Yeah. And
And
all
then
that's brought
just
you is
simple
stress.
editing.
All that's brought you is a bunch of stress. Now
I'm
you're
under stress, man. I am under stress.
You're under stress, and I think we've come to the point where we pinpointed the source, and it is
It's
YouTube.
YouTube. Yeah.
God dang YouTube.
I wouldn't change it for nothing though, Dan.
That was good.
I was just think about this. I keep saying this, but this is true. I'm just a simple guy from Ohio, and there's something about my story that people have connected with. I think my track record shows that I am who I am, and there's just something there. And I think it's beyond me too. I think it's the machines and the lifestyle and the hobby
Yeah,
of
I think it's all of those. I think you have nothing to do with it. I think you could just And I also think if we ever figure out what it is, I mean, if we could try to figure it out, but we'd be here a long time. Yeah, I don't know. I think it's definitely. I think the machines probably. I give the credit to the 405.
Yeah, I do. I do. When I think of my first video was on that Ultra Tech dump trailer, and then the majority of them I was just showing that Yappa 365 because man, that was cool. It's
Yeah.
different, and people loved it, and they just kept kept coming back for more. And then I developed a relationship with Metza Machines, and then with Yappa the company, and here we are.
And here we are. Right. I mean, and that's one other thing I always tell people when they ask me about starting a channel is I tell them you have to think of first, best, and different. So if are you going to do something that's going to be the first time it's ever been done? Probably not. Are you going to do something that's the best that's ever been done? Probably not. Are you going to do something that's different? You can do that because you are different than anyone else. So like what you were just saying with the Yappa, that was when you started doing your videos. I'm not sure there was any content out there on Yappa processors, and that was just something different that I'd never seen. I mean,
And we didn't stick to tripod filming either. My
yeah,
daughter was, shoving that camera up into the splitting chamber and right off the saw, right off the saw motor. She was up underneath the infeed, just showing it all from different angles.
yep,
And people just fell in love with that machine, as they should, because it's a great invention, for crying out
yeah,
loud. And I don't know, Dan. I just think that I don't know. Did we catch lightning in a bottle? But I think the same though would go for anyone who's looking to get started. I think you still have fun, have a personality. I just think that you need to stick to professionalism in a way, avoid the cussing and all. I think that can only help you. I think that makes, if your goal is influencing, that's what makes a company more comfortable to deal with you.
yep,
And then from there, look at your editing and your sound and your video quality. Like I'm in one of my hobbies, Dan, is solar, and I'm into these lithium iron phosphate batteries. I think they're fascinating. And there's a lot of solar channels out there, but my gosh, there is just a lot of bad channels too. I was watching this one guy, he was outside. You know how the wind blows into your camera and you can't hear anything? And his whole video was just, you couldn't understand, you couldn't even hear him. It was just the wind blowing. And I'm thinking this guy watched this and then uploaded it and then turned it on live.
well,
And it
maybe,
just, come on.
maybe
I
he
was just
did.
scratching my head. I was like, come on, bud. Can't you tell? Or like, there'll be other people that will videotape them and the cameras, you can't even see what they're talking about. Like the camera angle's wrong, or it's too close, or it's too far away. And all you got to do is say, holy cow, I can't see this. I think I'll go reshoot this part and, and, and edit this in. But there is just, I think you just got to watch what the quality that you're putting up, the
Yep,
images and your audio.
self-awareness. You need to know that what you're doing may or may not be as good as it could be. And then,
I
you
just,
just you keep going. And one day you'll find yourself in a position where you're going to be holding an open house in your new wood yard and you're going to be under stress. And
oh my gosh,
you can say, why did I ever start this dang channel?
why did I ever start this? Yeah, I just have this list of punch card items that I have to clear off to make this go live. I'm trying to put myself in the eyes of a person that's coming to watch, to attend, and I just want to make sure everything goes smoothly.
Yep. Yeah, those expectations, man, they're high.
I have a food truck, but what if it's not enough? I have
What do they serve?
food. What if the selection isn't right? And what if that's why I might tell. I think if they're coming, if they plan on staying for a while, maybe bring a lunch or bring your own beverages or something, and bring a lawn chair and an umbrella and just be ready.
Is the food truck serve Dr. Pepper? Or are they Coke or
There will
Pepsi?
be Dr. Pepper somewhere.
Oh,
We've been while we'd go shopping during the week, we've been stockpiling waters because I think I'll just have water in coolers for people.
Ah, I'd skip the
Uh,
water if you're not getting that porta john. Then you're gonna need two of them then.
killing me. We're
Oh,
gonna have giveaways. You know,
oh,
the culture of Ohio Woodburners, we give stuff away. So I have been uh, visiting people and businesses in town, letting them know that I'm trying to showcase our city, and people have been coming, throwing into the hat. So I've been
mm,
picking up some items to give away.
I
A lot of
like it.
shirts, a lot of trinkets, whatever you want to call them. So be ready.
No.
And
Sounds like
and
it's
then
gonna be.
my daughter Emily, she will be in attendance too. She'll have her T-shirt stand set up to help. All the proceeds for our T-shirt sales still go to her college education.
This is sounding like it's gonna be one heck of it. I hope you can pull this off. You got a lot going on, man. Oh, I'm just trying to add to your stress.
Yeah, well, it's not real hard to do right now, Dan.
But I'll be there, and Shibe I think is going to be there, so you can relax.
Okay, we need to compile a list of all of the YouTube channels in attendance.
Yeah, I don't know if
I
we do. You know of all of them so far? I
I
don't know.
know of some, and I would hate to throw their names out just now, and then they're not coming. So uh, I probably will have a video upcoming calling for people to let me know, just so I can advertise that they're coming.
Yeah,
I would I hope that we have a good turnout, and um, I don't know. I think it's just fun to meet people.
I do too. That's the one
Hmm.
thing I'm looking forward to as well is meeting people I may have met at Bunyan and seeing if I can remember their names.
And it's nice knowing that you probably don't owe them money when you meet them.
Right.
So I always say, do I know you from somewhere? Do I owe you
Do
money?
I? Yeah. What? How do I know you?
Do I have your wheelbarrow? What is it?
I mean, it's not every day that you get recognized as the number one firewood hobbyist from Wisconsin. But anyway, I think I'm not sure if we relieved any of your stress in talking this out. I know sometimes it helps talking your problem, your stuff, talking stuff out to relieve your stress. But I don't know. Maybe
Yeah.
it's helped. Maybe it hasn't. Hopefully, it has.
I'm okay. I'm a old baseball player. I handle it pretty good.
Well, that's good because it's
We're
there
getting
aren't many
close.
days left.
No, this episode will come out on the Wednesday before the last Wednesday before. Yeah.
It'll come out on a Wednesday. The second to the third to the last before the second and after the fourth.
Right.
Wednesday.
Yeah. And the weather's going to be nice,
Yes.
and we're going to hang out. We're going to be there. I'll be there all day long. And if you are able to come, please come. If you can't, there'll be one of many live streams.
And videos. Yes, there'll be some
Yeah.
videos coming out
There'll
where
be
you
a
can.
lot of videos of it, and there'll be a lot of live streams on the day of.
Yeah, that's gonna be fun. Looking forward
Yeah.
to it.
And I hope you have safe travels. Well, we'll have an episode here before.
Yep, we'll
Well,
have
you'll
one
be on
more.
your way here when our next episode posts.
Yes. Yep. So,
Okay. Just
all
be
right.
ready to work good here.
Oh yeah, I'm ready.
Alrighty. Well, Dan, what do you say? Let's strike up the band. I gotta go to return some phone calls, and we have to wrap up this episode of the world's most popular firewood podcast.
Yes, stress free. The stress free wrap up here. We're all good. Everything's gonna be cool. We're gonna see everyone on the 29th. Who can make it? And if you can't, tune in because we'll probably have a recap and go over all that happened right here on the Woodhound podcast.
Yeah. Maybe we could even record one from the I don't know if we'd be able to. Our audio wouldn't be that good.
We might be able to. I'll work
All
on
right.
something.
Okay. All right, Dan. Well, let's say goodbye to everyone. Let's strike up the band and let's head on out of here.
All right. Thanks, everyone, for tuning in. We'll see you right back here next week for another episode of the Woodhounds, the #1 firewood podcast in the world.
That's right. And everyone have
a great day.